It's a very very specific little meme from my childhood. Beast Machines, the sequel show to Beast Wars, they would show ads for it on YTV, and they always had this
Why?
clip. TV. That's why. YTV was like the Canadian kids network,
Sorry.
and it would always there would always be this there always be like, watch Beast Machines, listen to this satisfied customer, and they cut to Ryan Ox going, I will not be denied. It is in like a serious context, so I always think about that.
And then it was follow up with Reboot.
Yeah, a
Mhm.
reboot.
Yep,
I
I
think
remember
usually
that.
Same
came
animation house.
Yep.
first. Mm-hmm.
Made
And
by
fine.
Canadians, eh?
Yeah,
I know.
Now, wasn't
Why
it
is
all
James
under
Coleman's
Toonami?
name in front of my face?
yeah. It was probably all on Toonami in the U.S. I didn't really. YTV was like our Cartoon Network,
The
basically.
funny part about it is the guy who did the voice and the bumpers for Toonami was Peter Cohen.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
There's Mr. Magnus. James Coleman first in the comments. Welcome, James. TF fan page 101 says, yo. Welcome.
Yo.
Hey, Brian.
You gotta
Hello.
put more O's in yo.
Yo. And Impacted Productions says, first one, yoink.
It's Frist one.
First one. You guys, I'm in the chat. How have you been?
Yeah.
How's everyone been from a few minutes ago?
Still surviving, attempting to thrive. Hey,
I was still trying to load into Teletran 1. I didn't change it to Teletran 2. That was
I
my
made the same
problem.
mistake. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did that too.
Season 1, 2, and then season 3. It's
For the very small amount of people who weren't there last time, Legacy Deluxe Optimus. This is a great guy. This might be figure of the year. I've only had it for 3 days, and I've taken so many pictures. It's what if G1 Optimus was really tiny, but like really, really, really bendable. I
Well-
think everybody should get one of these.
Yeah, I got
So-
everybody else from that deluxe wave, but that's
Yeah.
the only one I have not gotten.
Yeah, to be fair, he doesn't scale with like anything. He's too small, so it's kind of just a one-off. But that's about the only reason why you wouldn't want to get this.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to that toy guy. I think his recent video he did like a top 10, and he was mentioning that particular one that you have in your hand. The runner up, number 1 on his list is actually 86 Studio Ultimates Prime.
Yeah. You see, here's the thing. This guy costs the price of a deluxe. That guy costs the price of a commander. There's a pretty big difference there. It's like
Yeah.
3-4 of these.
Okay,
Yeah, that video.
so I
that
guess
he
I'm gonna get
kinda
that
did-
one then.
Yeah. It's easier for me to recommend stuff when it's cheaper, You're like, everybody should get Commander Optimus Prime. I'm not even getting Commander Optimus Prime. I don't have casual Commander class money, but a really good deluxe, sure.
Yeah, I hadn't
see.
gotten
Predicate.
Commander Optimus or
Yeah,
Magnus.
there he is.
Dedication. Dedication.
Listen,
Addiction.
we are not just only Transformer fans, but we're also Transformer financial planners.
What, like
Okay.
Wu-Tang
So you got to
Financial?
eat ramen for a couple of weeks.
Okay,
I
will
like
teach
ramen.
you the ways of how to buy toys.
I like ramen.
Okay,
Yeah, I like ramen and canned tamales.
all right.
You know,
Mayonnaise and sandwich. That's all I gotta say.
Tell
Just
people
the
you heard it
mayonnaise.
here first on childrenofprimus.com. We teach you financial advice in terms of how to get more Transformers.
Yeah. None of us are named Swindle, so you can trust us.
This is true. And, Impactor Productions also just hit 128 subscribers, so
Excellent.
do check out his channel.
Here's your swindle.
That is excellent.
There he is, yeah.
There he is, right there, hiding
All of
under
his-
there.
Generation 1 glory.
Yeah,
Yeah, my swindle is in the box, but he's
he's gone.
the
my-
storage box.
Kirby hat I saw today.
That's a Kirby hat, yeah.
Yep.
All right, anyway.
Yeah, James Coleman says, "Don't get started with Canada Post because of the strike. I miss Toy Hacks' 30% off of the repo labels."
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. One of the things they just, like, as of today, he's half transformed now. Just unveiled their set for this guy because you notice he doesn't have a lot of the stickers on him. So they're like, well, now we're gonna do a Toy Hack set that has all the stickers he's missing, and I might go in on that just to complete the look.
Mm. Now, there's a lot that we're going to try to cram within our 1 hour of streaming.
Only 1 hour?
Well, we split it an hour here, an hour there, because, it's, you make it bite-sized. It's more consumable, as
okay.
Toy Warp would say. So it works, because, when it becomes a 28-hour stream, you start losing people, and then the span just isn't there.
What do you mean?
You know what?
They got something better to do?
You know what? Hold on. We got to try one day a 24-hour stream.
You know what? I am not opposed to doing that on a holiday, because I know there are a lot of Transformer fans out there that don't have anybody to hang out with on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It may work.
I'd be down for
Not-
that.
What are you talking about? They got their menagerie of robots.
Toronto.
Sorry.
I think you all called that TFCon Toronto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is true. Actually, you know what? I think back in the day, someone would have done that, because TFCon is like during the daytime, evening hours, at the venue. They probably would have just done it where it's like just leave the camera running for like the entire, like, from the Friday night right till Sunday night. So it's like you see everyone coming in, setting up whatever happens, and then they shut it down and the camera's still running and streaming until the next day. Everyone's coming in, setting up, doing whatever, and then shutting down, and that would actually be pretty funny.
Doubles as security.
Yeah, then you'd see what security's doing after hours.
Yeah.
If they're
You're
like,
not supposed to see that.
they're swindling stuff.
Yeah. By the way,
All right, gentlemen. The Sarasota Toy Museum would like to thank you, because there were donations for their Toys for Tots
Cool.
drive last night in the name of Children of Primus.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to the Sarasota Toy Museum for holding that event. They had 3 of those big, huge Toys for Tots donation boxes, and they filled them. I think they filled another one earlier before I even got there. But yeah, really, really good toy drive. They had a raffle going on. It was just a really cool event, and yeah, we were there.
That, you know what? That brings some joy to my heart, because kids should have toys to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put too much enthusiasm in that statement there.
Oh, God.
It was a serious moment. With a serious face.
We can always count on
serious
Lottie
message.
for being our emotional anchor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. But that's awesome. Like it was like a big bin. They got all filled up with a whole bunch of toys.
3 big bins while I was there.
Not
Yeah,
one.
so they
not
I
two,
know I think
but 3.
they had another one filled before I
Yeah.
got there, and maybe even another one filled after I left, because I didn't stay for the whole thing.
That's freaking awesome, man.
I brought Potato with me, and oh, buddy, she was in her heyday, man.
Nothing like an attentive, loving audience to make a dog enjoy their life.
Oh my!
Now,
She thought everyone was there for her, so everybody had to pet her.
Now, before we jump into our main topics, because we have many main topics, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and welcome Dr. Globe in the comments. And he's asking everyone, how many of y'all accidentally lose or lock your Transformers toys weapons? I try not to, but it keeps happening.
I have a very, very simple solution.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, forget it.
Just get a couple of
He
these.
quit counting
Ziploc
because that's as
bags.
high as he can count. So don't mind.
Well,
him.
you know where they are. They're here, and in another Ziploc bag like this one. That's why I don't lose them.
You know what? I did the same thing too, but I actually put it in a box. Okay.
Yeah, I might
And guess
upgrade
what?
to a
I
box.
lost it.
Here we go.
Do you see that cabinet underneath the G1 box, the gold Timex cabinet? There's
Yes.
a cabinet underneath of it.
Yeah,
It's all black,
That is-
right?
That has 2 drawers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And those drawers, if I'm not using a piece, like if I've got them in their alt modes, the extra pieces are in there.
Nice.
So what you're saying is
always-
there
I can
might
always
be
just
an
go to
extra Rodimus wing in there.
No, I wish. I don't even have a Rodimus ring.
You don't have one.
Wow.
Kill me, Smalls.
But you see that question that Mr. Globe asked? This is the reason why I keep my collection now in boxes, is because I don't want to lose my weapons.
There you go. Oh,
That is
But
the
then
main
you
reason.
can't play with them.
we have
Okay.
Swindle in the comments and said,
Uh-oh.
It's like a Beetlejuice type
I
situation.
hope that's the Swindle that runs the Facebook page that I talked to. I really hope it is.
Now we have to ask Swindle a question. Like, were you really scared that time when Megatron was like, when Bruticus just couldn't combine? Like, what were your feelings in that episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was your motivation for that scene?
Just go frame by frame and bot and be like, all right, so what were you thinking right here when this was happening?
It was just like, I'm almost got away with it. Oh, now he's asking to combine Bruticus. Yeah, I'm caught.
Did you notice that reality seemed particularly poorly animated that day?
I wonder why. Well, hey, before we start our topic, I guess I got a couple of reveals. Because we're gonna get into that very
Too
shortly.
bad. You should have been here for the last segment.
Because we have about 39 minutes left of conversation here. So obviously I'm the comic book guy now, and so I just picked up Transformer Skybound #2.
Oh, you finally made it to the second issue.
Yeah, I did. Can you believe that? No, because you know what? They have many different covers for all the issues. Right?
I know. I'm just in a sassy mood today for some reason.
No, but you know what? But again, I actually like this cover, so I ended up picking up #2. But with the what's called Prime and Starscream in the background.
Reporting from. Oh yeah, there he is.
There you go. Is that better? There we go. That's a pretty cool cover. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what's going on. And then this one here, I think Magnus might like this one here. And this is number 8. So I highly recommend these. I'm telling you, like I'm gonna have a wall with all of these framed.
Oh,
So
that would look lovely.
if you would happen to hang on, my camera's messed up from where I moved it. If there's 2 people that you would like to see on the cover of the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, the guy that I get a lot of my artwork from, Nate Niles, from Transformers Liberated, he got a bunch of the comic book covers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's putting custom work on them. He's making me a Shockwave and Destro cover.
I like that one.
Yeah, I was also thinking about doing like a what was the guy with the eye patch? The big guy with that eye patch that always got all their shit. Baron Blood.
Yes.
No, Baron Blood.
Major Blood.
Major Blood. Yeah. Major Blood and Soundwave.
No, but I like the Destro in Shockwave. I like that one.
Yeah.
You got, the 2 real leaders of both fractions.
All right, I'm gonna look up what. Let me make sure I don't have my vaguely Caucasian GI Joe leaders mixed up because I always mix them up. Anyways,
Major Blood is wasn't he's Caucasian, but he's European. I think he was he no? I thought he was Russian by some odd reason. Forgot the Baroness.
What I was getting at was the 4 G.I. Joe guys, Duke, Hawk, Flint, and Falcon. I always get them mixed up because they're all like the same.
Yeah, yep. I always mix them up too.
Yeah.
Swindle has a message for you on the screen.
I created a courage bottle and drank it while no one was seeing and just rolled with it. How do I interpret that statement? I don't understand, and it's vaguely menacing. AKA supper courage bottle. Am I talking to an AI right now?
You probably are.
It's Swindle.
Is Swindle having a stroke? Swindle, do you smell toast?
Do you smell toaster? Blaster's brother.
I'll tell you this. Going back to cover book covers, this is I showed this last time. The DW. Again, it is a crossover. What is the one of the older ones? I really like this one here. Showed it last time.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I really like that cover.
There we go. So if I was gonna put Joe and a robot on a cover, I'd put Hot Rod with Falcon, because they were both introduced in the animated movies of their franchises, and were both obviously written to have the same role of like the young newbie leader.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So they're the same archetype. I just had to look up what Falcon's name was, because I always get him mixed up with all the others.
Yeah, but wasn't he Flint's brother or something? I forgot. He was related to somebody.
Yeah, well, he was related to either him or Hawk, because like the whole thing is like he's getting like disciplined, and they're like, "Oh, you're still here because you're related to us, so we're gonna pull a couple strings."
Yeah.
Swindle saying, I think I'm going having a robotic heart attack.
Get yourself help.
Go have your oil pump looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, before we jump into the Reactivate news, I mean, Shockwave was attacking all of our stuff from last week, so I didn't get a chance to mention that all of Canada is under a mail strike, which I connected with another YouTube channel named Toy Snowman. They have a store located in Montreal, Canada. He did mention that his store, in order to service their customers, they have a deal with Canada Post. So, he's selling 80 to 100 toys, sending that out a day. The fact that there's the mail strike, he now has to go with alternative measures, which is costing between an extra $4 to $9 per package that he's sending out. And so
this is, I imagine.
Yeah, vastly. It's affecting everyone, especially small businesses, within the 6 weeks of, the Christmas holidays. So it's like no one's sending stuff, receiving stuff. The alternative mail carriers, like UPS, Canpar, and FedEx, they've also paused anything where there's the last mile of Canada Post. What a lot of people will say, well, if the main carrier is out of service, just go with like the alternative services. But when you live outside of the main city, you only can rely on the main service. So then you have no service at that point.
I'm going to say, anecdotally, and this is like a very self-centered thing, I have not noticed a difference in the things that I've gotten delivered. But also maybe they're using alternative carriers. Like, I've had a few Christmas packages that have all made it in. That comic that I showed last stream from my friend down in the U.S. arrived no problem. I get my cat litter shipped in monthly. I'm on a subscription service. That was a little late, but that's about all I noticed. So I'm sure it's affecting the businesses bad, but on my end, I haven't really been impacted by it. But I'm just one guy, so maybe everybody else's experience is different.
True.
Well, I could tell you two things. So with the Versus stuff that I do, right, I had to switch over to... Well, I didn't have to switch over. We were actually using UPS already, because we ship to the States as well, right? So we don't really use Canada Post. So our prices already include, the service fees that we got to pay with UPS, right? And then you order stuff from Amazon. When does Amazon ever use Canada Post?
They don't.
There you go.
Yeah, so Amazon knows what they're doing.
Yeah, so Canada Post, I hate saying this, but they really got to pivot their whole business format, because it's old, it's outdated. Like, what mail do you get what mail really do you still get in the mailbox except for flyers?
Flyers and bills. Which a lot of people have converted to online bills, so they're not even getting bills in the mail anymore.
Okay, and there you go. You just said it right there. And so they really need to start changing their plan, and they really got to restructure their whole business plan, because it's really obsolete.
It is.
So for them to go on,
get us canceled?
no, hey, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? So, you know, so they're gonna have to. The federal government is gonna have to really look at it and say, do we need this anymore? And if we do, then how are we gonna go proceed in the future in doing business? Because they personally, yeah, they're urban area, whatever. Yeah, they may need Canada Post because UPS or FedEx may not go out there, or Amazon or whatever cases, right? So I understand that part. But do you need tons of hundreds of thousands of people working for Canada Post? I don't think so. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I'm just trying to look at it realistically. That's all.
Seems pragmatic. As soon as you said, when have you gotten letters in the mail, you're right. You were right. I can't remember the last time I got something that wasn't like a spam letter in my mailbox.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Everything I get delivered is just packages.
That was interesting, with the Canada Post mail strike, looking up on, say, the American side of things, USPS, the last time Dave had a strike was in the 70s. So they figured out they figured out how to make the engine work. But I mean, at a certain point, the same thing's going to happen to them, where it's like, the mail service, nobody's using mail anymore. So, that's something that has to be looked at.
I think eBay alone can keep our post service alive.
That's true.
I will agree with that.
And Prime Dynamics says, "What up, gents? Hey, Prime Dynamics, thank you for dropping in once again, and check out his channel." Now, as we quickly switch, I also want to say with Toy Snowman, something that we're also doing in Canada that Toy Snowman mentioned on his channel is Canada's doing tax exempt for kind of like a holiday tax exempt, which some are saying it's just ways
BS.
what's the word for it? Ways of like conning people to vote for certain members of the parliament in upcoming elections. But
it is BS. Do you know what BS stands for?
Body soap?
Bachelor's in Sciences?
Body slam.
Bologna, salami.
Exactly. Bologna and salami.
All types of
All
bologna.
processed crap.
Can't see the word.
Cesium salami.
Okay.
So currently, as of yesterday, December 14th up until February 14th, Canada is doing an exemption on taxes on certain things and foods and everything. And Toy Snowman on his channel said that it's cool, but it's also very problematic, and a lot of businesses are complaining about it because it's anything from, say, toys from the ages 14 and under. So certain brands, if they only focus on ages 14 and under, or like building or educational type of toys, taxes are exempt. And taxes for us are like, if an item's $20, you're just paying $20, but with taxes, then it's $20 times 1.13. Always the quickest way to calculate it. But then certain brands, say Transformers, Legos, and everything. So a Lego that's 14 and under is exempt, but a Lego that's say like an Optimus Prime Lego that's 18 and over, that is taxed. So it's
Put it this way.
it's really problematic.
Put it this way. You could go buy a pair of shoes. It's tax exempted, but if you got to go fix those shoes, you have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So.
And then on top of it, if I'm a small business, I got to reprogram my whole inventory of things that are accepted, and may not be everything, but some things are accepted. And then I may not know how to do that, so I got to pay somebody to come and do that. It could cost me a couple of $1,000s for 2 months, and then pay another $2,000 to get it all fixed again. It's costing more money. If I was a small business, which I'm, again, I do have something on the side, I'm just gonna offer 20% off, and that's it.
Yeah, I remember
Across
I
the
was
board.
on Instagram today, and there's a little shop in Toronto that I follow. It sells a lot of anime type collectibles, and he had an Instagram story where it's like, people are asking me if I'm doing the HST thing. The answer is yes. But if you're doing online sales, I can't get it to do that. So you're going to have to buy things and then email me, and then I'll send you it as a rebate. And it just seems like a real pain on his end.
Mhm.
Well, whoever came up with it was probably thinking, people buying toys for their kids for Christmas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They probably weren't, when it comes to adult collectors, that is not in the general public's mind. So,
This is true. I was out right before the show getting some things for my young cousin for Christmas, and I'm like, hey, I was at a Toys R Us. I benefited from that little tax thing being gone slightly.
Oh, and by the way, in the new year, anybody that's making less than 150,000, was it 150,000 or 100,000, is going to get a $250 check rebate.
Yay, 250.
Hey, I'll take it.
Because we're putting money back in Canadians' pocket.
Yay.
I would certainly like it to be more, but I'm not going to turn down a check for $250.
Well, it's your money in the first place. Why would you turn it down, right? I'll take it.
Yeah.
But it all goes back to, these stupid, I'm sorry to say it like this, but it's a stupid propaganda to try to get people to sway your way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb. All I'm just saying is that, and this goes also for business as well too. If you're gonna do something for the people, do it properly and do it correctly, and then you're definitely gonna get people are going to follow you and buy your merch or whatever cases. I'm just trying to. I don't want to make this political. I'm just trying to equivocate, the issues that we're dealing here in Canada.
The big deal is your $250. What are you going to spend it on? Maple syrup and leaves? Come on, man.
No,
only the finest maple syrup.
Beer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the going rate for an alligator? Like a fine quality Florida
It's a lot more than $250, probably.
Well, you could buy an alligator belt.
Which actually, I mean, it kind of sucks because 250 Canadian is only like $1.39 American.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God, that kicked my ass. Last week
Gator
on
kicked
eBay,
your ass?
something I really wanted on eBay. Right, it's 3 Stomper semi trucks that were still on the card from like '85. I'm like, oh yes, it was in Canada.
Stomper.
Right. Didn't think
no.
about it. Because it even said Canadian, but I just saw the number and it said like $685. I'm like, that's not really that bad. Let me just message him and see, because it had the best offer on it. So let me just give him an offer, And then it dawned on me as someone else bought it that it was $685 like Canadian, which was only like $400 American.
Oh,
I wanted to jump off the roof, man. I just so mad at myself. Because I totally forgot about the exchange rate and missed out on those trucks. So mad.
How do you forget it for the whole entire time? Anytime we're doing streaming, that's all we talk about is the conversion.
Well, I mean, I didn't look to see that it said Canadian. All I was doing was looking at the number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so mad. Because even at full price, it was a deal.
so James Coleman says to earlier, no, he's Duke's half brother.
Okay.
Sure he is. I believe it.
And Dr. Globe says, what are your all thoughts on Elon Musk acquiring Hasbro? I'm a little concerned how that will turn out. And
I wasn't here that week. Did y'all actually talk about it?
We did talk
Yeah,
about
we
it.
did, unfortunately.
Not plausible for many reasons. The Twitter thing was a fluke due to specific circumstances. There is no way that a Hasbro purchase will happen.
Well, as we slowly get over to our reactivate conversation, Motormaster and Swindle are having their own conversations in the chat section.
Give him Nuka-Cola so he doesn't have
Holy
a
crow,
heart attack.
we need brow. Hold on. We gotta get this guy in here now.
There you go. Just a complete Combaticon reunion.
Right?
Brawl
Or wait, that's
doesn't
Motormaster.
say
That's not
much
Monster.
though. I mean, in terms of like
Oh, yeah,
usually,
here we go.
it's
that
usually
better?
Motormaster and
Hey, what about us?
Motormaster and half of them speak and then half of them don't. They just kind of like go whatever the leader says.
I think Brawl's biggest role was when he was a player character in warforcybertron.
No.
Which,
He was actually
hey,
a
let's
good figure.
transition.
Let's
Yeah.
transition. Let's segue on that.
Yes. So
Hold on,
that,
before you
that
go,
is-
that was a really good figure.
The Fall of
And
Cybertron one.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that Brog character, it was well designed. But yes, let's get back to your reaction. Oh,
reactivate.
yeah, Reactivate did in our chat. I actually saw when I went to go get the comic books. I saw two figures, two packs of
Mhm.
React.
Mhm. That's a thing.
Yeah,
It's
there was. It was what was it again? Shockwave. No,
And
sorry.
Optimus.
Soundwave and Prime,
Yeah.
and Bumblebee and Starscream.
Yeah.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
so
have to
there's-
admit the Shockwave and Prime was actually a nice set.
Yeah,
I was
people that
considering
own it
that
have
one.
said it's a really good couple of toys.
Yeah.
It's just really funny that they obviously thought the video game was going to be out by now when they had these in the pipeline like 2-3 years ago, or whatever the toy manufacturing timeline is. And so now there's no sign of the video game, and you got these
That's
2-packs on the
crazy.
shelves for something that's vaporware. People like them apparently. They say they're really good figures in their own right, at least.
Well, like I said, when I was really considering picking up the Soundwave and Prime. It looked really nice. The packaging was nice. Everything was done nice. And it's funny because we did talk about this, how to revive, the Transformer
Yeah.
lines and bring it to a new audience and all that. And they fucked up on a chance like this, man. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
And it sounds like it was such a good, like, kind of like original story too. And so it's a shame that the one time that they do something different, it kind of doesn't come out.
But it's
But,
been like this for how long now?
Well over a year since we've had any news. So let me walk you through the timeline here real quick.
Okay.
They said last year that there was going to be some news on the game this year. We got 2 weeks left in the year, so maybe there will be news. But thus far, all that's happened was the trailer got taken down from YouTube because the rights to the song in it expired, and their Instagram page went away, only for one of the Splash Damage guys to be like, no, that was a glitch. We don't mean for it to be down. They skipped out on the Game Awards, so this thing is just non-existent.
Well, here's a detail in terms of that I think many are overlooking.
Yeah.
The fact that Reactivate has been just popping in everyone's, like on everyone's streams and everything. Going back to Chris Cox being the new chief executive officer, when you look at when you look at what's written about him, a gamer at heart. So that's his first. That's the first line opening about the article behind him. So it's like, well, now you've got a video game guy running Hasbro. All of a sudden, video game conversations start popping up everywhere. Is it possible that Reactivate is going to be a thing now? Whereas, like, let's stop putting money into the movies. Let's put it into the video game.
Yeah. So is the new CEO going to give it whatever push it needs to get out the door?
What studio was it that was doing Reactivate?
Splash Damage.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I say it like the CEO is going to get it out the door, but like I don't think it does not work that way because something I was mentioning before the stream started. There's a really good YouTube show that I watch from time to time called What Happened, and it does coverage of video games and also movies that have troubled development histories. Often the end product is bad. Sometimes it's good. Like they've done episodes on Doom 2016 and the first Metroid Prime. Just anything that had a tortured development cycle. And the story of Transformers Reactivate sounds like a lot of other modern AAA games where they like keep moving the milestones. They decide to change their engine, which means it's like starting over. They keep shoveling money into it, but it's just not getting out the door because milestones keep getting skipped, things keep changing. It's entirely possible this won't make it out, but if it does, it will probably not be very good.
Sorry, I was just about to say, do you think all these delays is because they're afraid?
Absolutely.
I think what happened is they realized that the product is not great, and they're shoveling money and time towards it to try and make it like better. But there's only so much you can do before you might as well cut your losses and
Yeah,
release
you
it.
can only polish a turd so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even that. Not even the way video games work. It's not even like it would be a turd. Like it'd be like a 7 out of 10, and then they'll be like, no, no, we need a 10 out of 10. We got to keep going till it's a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, just release your 7 out of 10. I like a good 7 out of 10 once in a while, you know?
Yeah, but not everything could be a 10 out of 10,
Yeah,
right? Like, there's going to be, like how you said, a 7 out of 10, or 8 out of 10, or 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10. But you know what? If you're a true fan by heart, a Transformer fan, you don't care if it's a 7 out of 10. You're
Yeah.
just having a good time because you're playing something that you like.
yeah. There's a Transformers game for the Switch called Battle Tactics. It's a turn-based strategy thing. I had a blast playing that game. It's really obviously like a little budget thing they just kind of threw together, but it's a really fun 7 out of 10.
Also on the Xbox Live game store, not only have they, well, like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, they relisted Fall of Cybertron. Now War for Cybertron is on there. Now both games are not available to buy, but the fact that they have been put back on the store and are viewable most of the time means it will be available in the future. So they're going
that's
back
awesome to
to
hear.
the High Moon games to do something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Somebody found a listing for Fall of Cybertron on the PlayStation Store with a copy attached to it that suggested like it's got multiplayer, it's got all the DLCs. So they're like, oh, this is a fancy reissue. Uh, on the PlayStation side, that's probably happening as well.
You know what? Here's the funny thing is, like, the War of Cybertron, right? If you take that platform, let's just say, and you kind of make it like almost a Fortnite kind of ish platform where you could change skins, let's just say, meaning that if I could pick a G1 Megatron to a Transformer 1 Megatron skin or something like that, and you know, kind of interchange players or whatever, you know what I mean? I think people will like that, and I think people will buy that game.
Let me tell you because I forgot
it could be
about something until you mentioned that.
And it could be a 7 out of 10. I'll still
Yeah.
pick that up.
That's one of the things that people speculate happened with Reactivate. It was going to be one of them microtransaction heavy games. This is like a known thing. Like at one point, you know, buy the skins, buy the extra characters. And what happened was you had stuff like the Marvel Avengers game, which was like one of those and was a big flop. And then you had the Justice League the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League game,
Yep.
which was one of those apparently, but it got retooled into not being one because they realized that the time on those had kind of passed. So one of the things about Reactivate is people are speculating, oh, we know it was going to be one of those. Maybe it isn't now, and they're trying to awkwardly tool all of that stuff out of it.
Well, I know a lot of games on Xbox and PlayStation are free games. I call them pay to play
Yeah.
because you know the only way you can pick the game up for free and technically you can play the game, but to be competitive in the game, you got to spend money on DLC. I wonder if Reactivate was going to start off as a free game. You know, there's a bunch of those free type games,
Yeah.
like World of Tanks, Crossout, all the trucker simulation games. Yeah, they are. But you know, to get anywhere in them, yeah, they're DLC heavy, so you got to pay. You know, to get further, you basically you got to pay to be competitive.
Yeah, but
Unless
you
you
know
want to
what?
grind and grind and grind and grind, and you know whose fault that is? That's Rockstar's fault with GTA 5. Because all their DLC is free. Everything that that Rockstar puts out for Grand Theft Auto 5, all the DLC is free. You can go do the biker club, you can go do the races, you can do all the heists and everything that came after the game's initial release.
Mhm.
But you know, to afford to do those heists and all the extra missions better, it helps to buy the shark cards, which is the in-game currency. So you have to spend real money to get money in the game.
Yeah. That
Oh,
by the
there it
way
is.
is the
Yeah, the
Reactivate
2-pack.
2-pack that what he was talking about. Optimus and Soundwave as depicted in the game.
That is so weird that they would have toys out on the shelf and no game to
Yeah.
follow it up.
Well, like I said, the average pipeline for a trend. Yeah, we can hear you. The average pipeline from conception to production for a toy line is about 3 years. They've said that before, so they probably thought the game was going to be out by now, and so now they got these things on shelves.
And that's a great. If you look at those two figures,
Mm-hmm.
Soundwave was actually in Generations. He was a vehicle mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they still look great. It's a different. We had this conversation last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
About what are you doing? Are you just doing repackaging the same figures? Okay, Prime is gonna look like Prime no matter what, right? They did a little bit something different with Soundwave, but they're still different to a certain degree in their vehicle mode and even in their figure mode. So would I want to pick that up? Why not?
Yeah.
They look great. Can you blow that up against Spin?
I was about to put the other 2-pack on there too.
Okay. Look at it. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the other set that they did. This is Bumblebee and Starscream, and you notice that they made Bumblebee into like a big armored, like almost Halo type vehicle.
It looks like a Doom buggy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Starscream looks just as good.
Yeah, the thing you'll notice about Starscream is because like the plot of the game is these guys are all being dug out of the wreckage on Earth and reactivated, hence the title. Starscream has like a patchwork paint job because he's been like pieced back together. He's like asymmetrical and stuff.
Do we know what the whole plot or the storyline? I know what the storyline, but should we say what the whole storyline is all about?
Well, I think it's is it not public knowledge? Because I mean, they did a trailer already and they talked about it at the time, like a year ago. I
think we need to remind people because it's so long ago and everything's been taken down, right?
Yeah.
And I actually think it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. So as depicted in the trailer and as mentioned in the marketing at the time, the point is it's post-apocalyptic. The planet Earth was attacked by an alien force called the Legion. Hopefully not the ones from Kiss Players. People have been pointing that out since back then.
We are Legion.
Yeah. And so the world's been wrecked, and you have a human resistance with Marissa Fairborn leading it. And they're finding Transformers in the wreckage of Earth and getting them back to life and helping band everybody together to fight the invaders off and take the Earth back. And so, like, there's not supposed to be any factions anymore because all the Transformers are supposed to be found and teamed up to help fight back. And from the leaked footage we've seen, yeah, you are just playing as the Transformers in your pretty standard third-person, drive-around, transform, shoot type thing.
And these legions are made out of what? Nanobots.
Oh, that I don't know.
They're made out of nanobots, whatever, and they're supposed to form together. And there's 3. They mentioned, I forgot the names, but there were like these 3 types of big bosses that you have to fight against. And you can hurt them for like, you can not destroy them, but you can defeat them. But then after a while, they get back together again, they reformat, and then you kind of go at it again.
And watching the trailer, I saw that. Well, not the trailer, the footage that had the Bumblebee and the training and everything, and it was showing how to do the double jump and how to jump and move in midair, and then how to strike in mid. All those moves, every bit of them, looked exactly like Megatron's moves in Fall of Cybertron. Well, so it kind of makes me wonder how many High Moon guys are over there were working on Reactivate.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like they pretty much nailed movement and fighting for Transformers in those games. So they're like, why mess with it? Why not just do it again? And Motormaster asked, "What's Kiss Players?" If you don't know, ask Chris McFeely. We're not going to discuss it any further.
That's it.
Be prepared to be traumatized.
Yeah, but like ever since the trailer pointed out, they're like the invading force is called the Legion, and everybody's like, "Oh God." Well, there's worse stories than we have to defeat the Kiss Players as the enemy in this game. So,
I mean, it would be appropriate for post-apocalyptic enemies. I'd be like, oh god, this is how far we've been mutated and from the nuclear fallout.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, I mean, it's just a statement of fact. The High Moon games being remastered and re-released are more likely to come out than Reactivate, I think.
At this point in time, considering I didn't see anything called Reactivate on the Xbox store.
Yeah. The article for Reactivate on the Transformers Wiki has a counter that they keep activated that says how many days it's been since they heard official news. It was in the 700s when I last checked. So, yeah. I mean, they like I said, they insist that they're plugging away because, you know, the developer, the splash damage guy, was like, hey, we didn't actually, our page wasn't supposed to be taken down. It's like a bug. But also, who knows?
You know, what kind of bug takes down an Instagram page?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about Instagram to say if that's plausible or not.
Bumblebee?
Yeah, Bumblebee took it down. He's like, please release me from my suffering so that I may shuffle off from this mortal coil and not be in this purgatory of may be released eventually.
Has been using me way too many times.
Yeah. The funny thing is, they're re-releasing just the Bumblebee figure in Studio Series as a gamer edition. It's just going to come out on its own.
So check this out. I can't find the other two games that I have, but you know, Transformer, the game
for the Wii. I had that. Because I had a Wii and I had a Wii and I had the movie game, so that's a blast from the past.
Okay. Was it a 10 out of 10?
No.
Nah, I rather liked it, but yeah, it was like a 7.
No, it was not fun.
Okay.
Oh my god, no.
It was fun.
Well, we can't all
the environments were
terrible.
Yeah.
Come back, Spin. Look.
Okay, I'll go to the boards for that one. That was a very short, very simple game, but the production on it did a very good job of making you just feel like you were playing through a really long episode of the show. Like, they had the voice acting, they had the art, the animation. You were just playing through the show.
Then we had this game here.
Yeah, I never played that one. Which console was that?
The Wii U.
Ah, yeah, no, I never got around to playing that one, so I can't say. But
I'm
sure it was okay.
It was a fun game.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. And then there's another one. I can't find that one, but it has the cover of... It's Transformer, but you have all...
Oh, no. I could tell him what it is if I could hear it.
Soundwave gets
him.
Soundwave's getting him.
What's it called? The Michael Bay one. Hear me? Hello?
Barely.
All right,
Hello?
Start over.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? I'm good?
Yes.
Okay. So there's another game with I forgot the name of it, but it has Prime on it, but it's Transformer Prime. It has Optimus Prime and his knight, Prime Knight, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it had like different kind of other Transformers from other various generations, I guess, right? That was actually a pretty good game as well too. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, are you talking about Rise of the Dark Spark?
Is that it? I think so.
Well, I sent a link, which maybe can get posted in the chat, which was of the What Happened episode about its development and how it turned out that way after the two... Because it talks about the High Moon games and then how Rise of the Dark Spark came after that.
So that game... Yeah, I had that game, and that game was actually pretty good. Then obviously the War of Cybertrons, and then you have Devastation. But guess what? I picked this up because why? Because they're Transformer games. Why? I am a Transformer collector. That's why I picked it up.
Is that why you think the shit games are good then?
That one was.
Do you have a biased
game.
opinion? Because most of those games were shit.
Doesn't matter. Yes, you have a biased opinion because you are a Transformer collector.
All right, then that explains where your 10 out of 10 came from.
I didn't say 10 out of 10. I said I don't mind if it's a 7 out of 10, a 8 out of 10, or a 9 out of 10, or not everything could be a 10 out of 10.
That first
I don't mind a
game
7
was
out of 10 either,
right.
as long as it's not a 0.7 out of 10 like those.
Okay, 6.9999999.
No, 0.7. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get.
Okay.
The first movie game, that was all right. I had a lot of fun playing that back in the day.
Yeah.
It was like an open world type thing where they'd put you loose in like whatever city the story was in at that point, and you'd be driving around as whatever character, like Bumblebee or whoever, and go on a bunch of side missions and stuff in between the story. That's a solid formula for a Transformers game.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. And so I don't understand, and that's why it goes back to what I was saying before. Are they afraid? Are they afraid that they're gonna F up so badly, and then everybody's gonna talk shit about them?
They got a lot to live up to the last 3 games.
Yeah. Well,
like, think about it, man. Like, these games here, they're not 10 out of 10. Like, you don't have, like, the benchmark is very low.
For the ones
Put the
you
fucking
showed,
game
yeah.
up, man.
yeah. It's one of those. I think it's less of a Transformers problem. I think it's more of a AAA problem because they're like, this has to be a 10 out of 10. This has to make $7 billion because we spent $4 billion on it already. So we got to keep shoveling money until it's perfect. It has to be, everything has to be tight. It has to be focus tested. If something in it is no longer popular, we got to trash it and spend more time fixing it. That's why it's not out.
Okay.
Another reason it's not out too is because technology's moved on. If they have to, if it was on Unreal Engine 4 or something, and everyone now is using Unreal Engine 5, and they got to switch engines, they basically got to start over.
Yeah.
And this is where we're talking about Elon Musk buying Hasbro. And that's why I hope he does.
It's not going to happen, bro.
I hope he does too.
Okay.
It's not going to happen, but I hope he does too, so he runs it into the goddamn ground.
Well, why are you doing this for? He's going to make it better again. Like, don't you want something better?
No, I want Hasbro to end. I don't care. I said it the other week. I don't buy new Transformers, so I can give a shit less about new Transformers.
I know. He wants to talk. He wants to.
I want it to
never-
be
For me to hit the planet already.
Bios are never a good thing.
And release all the old IPs that they're holding on to, because they're holding on
That's
to
what he
a lot of
wants.
them, man.
Okay.
They're not taking my Transformers from me.
But that's what Sky. That's what Toro wants. He wants the IPs. That's why he's being all selfish. Stop being selfish.
I don't buy the new ones. I don't care.
Don't make me buy you a Tonka Toy, okay, instead of a Bigfoot. All right.
Tonka and Bigfoot are owned by Hasbro. Kill it. Give it back to the Tonka fans. Give it back to the Bigfoot fans. The Mask fans. The Motu fans. The Star Wars fans. The Marvel fans. Let them have their freak. Oh, did you see? Orlati, we're going to fight.
Overwork knows he wants to say Hail Hydra. I mean, Hasbro Hydra.
Yeah. Well, Cody's asking, why do you want Hasbro to end?
We just said it.
Because he wants
Cody,
me to be sad, specifically.
No, because he wants to buy Bigfoot. That's why.
Well, not only that, but everybody else's IPs that are caught up in there. Like, how many years has it been since we've seen anything from Mask? How cool was Mask? We don't see anything from it because Hasbro's got it locked in the vault. Gem and holograms locked in the vault. All of that stuff, man. Just that's what happens when you get a monopoly of, one company that owns every freaking thing.
This is true. They bought Power Rangers, and then 5 years later, they just suddenly stopped making it.
I agree. Well, there's a reason why they want to kill it,
Power
right?
Rangers, but
Well, it doesn't even have to be like a company
I just
that
hate
owns.
fun.
Going to take it over.
Holy shit! I thought that was the voice of God there for a second. Like,
Well, I've been
No,
asking
it's just
where
the
I'm
voice of
at. I've
gravity.
been asking where I'm at for like 20 minutes. I'm like, well, I'm just down there. I just don't have a blue highlight on. Y'all needed my spot so you can bring up little pictures.
Yeah, that's the leaked gameplay in that window there, right?
Yeah.
look how cool that is.
It is. It
I
does
think
look
that
cool.
looks nice. Yeah.
It does. I mean, even though when I said that Bumblebee moved like Megatron and all the same jump moves and jump in midair moves, I'm okay with that because those games were fantastic, and this game actually looks good.
Yeah. Now, if they would only just release it.
Well, they're acting like they don't like update games after they already been released. Like they act like that's not a thing that's been occurring for decades now.
Well, what do you call those
yeah.
patches?
Okay,
Okay,
first off, it's only been happening for a decade.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
it's
this is how you know that
Well, I
this
was
is an
thinking of,
old
like,
footage, because that's
Whoa
called
and stuff like
Transformers
that.
Rise at that point. That's its
Right.
old name. It was called that for a while, so this is ancient, relatively. 2020, eh?
by Sedum, what you're saying is, you know, when they release a new game and it's not perfect, part of the reason why game developers don't want to do that anymore is because it's killed so many games. So many games have come out and have been damn near unplayable. And everyone, the player base just leaves. They don't wait for updates. They just leave because the video game industry is something that is, you know, snap, 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 keep going, next thing, next best thing, next best thing. So if your game isn't spot on when it first comes out, it's going to be dead in the water. Just like somebody mentioned earlier, the Kill the Justice League. That game tanked because it was shit when it came out. It wasn't hardly playable, and everybody just moved on.
I'm just thinking about the debacle that was the Grand Theft Auto trilogy reissue, and how I just heard like a month ago they finally released a massive patch for it that fixed tons of its problems, and I was thinking like, well, okay, who's gonna care now?
No, that's when you get a player base that big, you can do no wrong. That is the world's biggest player base.
Oh yeah, I guess those are those Legion guys. Fortunately, they are not the not the Kiss player ones, from what I can tell.
That'd be awesome, eh? They look like Kiss players.
No, it
Or
wouldn't
like Kiss
be.
itself.
Oh well.
And all you hear, I wanna rock and roll all night.
Ooh.
I mean, if they
And kill all the Transformers every day. That'd be cool.
I mean, as far as collaboratives go.
Orlando, I want you to go sit in the corner and think about what you just said.
I am in the corner. I already told you that. It's just me. Like every time I got sent to the corner, that's all I did. I just made fun of myself and distract the whole class. So, force of habit.
The thing is, though, if Hasbro ends, who would keep making toys? Takara, or would third party just take over? Well, presumably, whatever company scooped the rights up to Transformers. I don't know how that would work, because like the way it works now, Hasbro and Takara like share the job when it comes to making Transformers. It's a really clear job of like somebody on the Hasbro side like sketches what the figure's going to look like, and then they hand it to the Takara designer, and they figure out like the mechanical engineering of how it's going to transform and articulate. So I wonder how that relationship would work.
Well, I think it just kind of goes back to, we had a similar conversation already about this a few weeks ago, right? So, but I think third party will go in there and buy the license and start making their products bigger and better, I think, because their focus is just only making that one particular product. They don't have to worry about My Little Pony or G.I. Joe or Bigfoot. All they have to do is just focus on Transformer, right? And I think they will come up with new creative ways as well. You know, from video games to movies. Okay, now look what Hasbro said about movies. We are not making no more movies. Okay, fine. So now I guess an independent guy can make a movie about Transformers. Get the license from Hasbro. Hey, here's the cost. Here's your profit, and here's our profit, and there you go, right? So that's what I think will happen. Yes, you're taking a photo of me? Let me get my good side.
No, I'm taking a picture for the MNEX Facebook group so I can ask about the I'm using my my family member's phone right now.
Yeah, that's right. Because they said that you know that new Transformer movies weren't out of the picture. It's just that Hasbro wasn't going to put any more money into them.
Yeah.
So what really begs the question is, you know, can you just buy the rights to make a Transformers movie and not have any kind of Hasbro input?
If you're willing to put up,
that's
the money,
a good question. That's a no. Tor brings up a good question, because let's just say some indie guy like, I don't know, me, comes up with a really, really good idea, and then Hasbro comes to me and starts saying, yeah, you guys can do it, but here are the restrictions. You can't have this, you can't do that. Then I'm going to say, fuck you then. I'm not going to do it then. That's my reply to them if that was the situation, but that's a really good question.
Now, one of our friends in another Facebook group We directed it to us, and it says the last mass toy from Hasbro was in the Revolution box set.
Yeah, I got it over there.
And Gem and the holograms are getting new product and reissues from loyal subjects, which are licensing the properties.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with that. All we know is they have the license. And this is the thing. I don't think Hasbro as a company is ever going to go anywhere. I think they're literally too big to fail. There might be a point where, say, Transformers is licensed out to somebody else.
Them and Mattel both.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if I can... I don't know where they are right now.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Hasbro buy Mattel?
No.
No.
No, they did a collaboration on that fancy schmancy Hot Wheels Optimus Prime that, you know, cost like $70 or $80 new, and like now it's on the secondary market for $150, you know, $150. But no, they can't buy Mattel. Mattel is second to Hasbro, but they can't afford that Hot Wheels money, man. Billions of dollars every year in Hot Wheels.
I was gonna say Mattel has Hot Wheels and Barbie. They're never going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the Matt Tracker in question. This is a G.I. Joe figure of Matt Tracker from Mask. This came in the Revolution box set with several other guys like Rom and stuff. So this was the last time they put a Mask toy out.
Oh yeah, that's not a Mask toy. That's a baby doll for boys. Okay, I'm talking about the vehicles, the cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, baby doll. You know what? The funny part is, if you hold that figure right back up again, yeah, it kind of looked like a Star Wars figure.
Yeah,
like one of those
when
stormtroopers.
When I reviewed it, I said that. I'm like, it looks a bit to me like one of the weird stormtrooper variants that show up like in one of the shows or a comic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a weapon too. It's just in a Ziploc bag over there.
I can't tell. Is this mask like a mask, or is it a over the shoulder thing?
No, it's a proper helmet.
Okay.
Does it come off?
Yeah. And he's based on his IDW Comics design.
Excuse me.
Blow him up, spin.
Ugh.
That's fine.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, there he is.
Boy, I wish I could get to my mask stuff right now.
Yeah, it looks like a clone trooper.
A little bit, yeah. And I mean, they're
more associated with having bits of color like that.
Well, so
I mean, it's all Hasbro. It just might be.
There's the one they did of Rom the Space Knight in the same set. Again, he has his weapon. It's just in a bag somewhere.
I saw the third-party mask vehicles at the last toy show I went to. And you know what? They look like they're made out of wood. They don't look all that good.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It had Tracker's Camaro, and it looked like it was made out of wood. It looked kind of embarrassing. Did not look as good as the original.
Was it like a prototype, or was it like the actual main release?
I'm gonna guess it was when it was for sale, so I wouldn't imagine it was a prototype.
Oh yeah, fair.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm really interested in whatever Loyal Subjects does with these, because my pipeline dream is that they do a re-release of the original Rom the Space Knight, because that's a figure I'd like to own. I've seen enough reviews of it. Just a big, like, tall noisemaker electronic thingy.
Loyal Subjects.
What?
What are you saying?
In the group chat, that Matt Tracker IDW is also a remold from the G.I. Joe Specialist Tracker that was also a homage to animation version.
Yeah, this was the second time they did this guy, because they did a cartoon style version a few years before, and then when they did this big box set with all these other properties, they retooled him to look like his comics version, because this was tied into that big Revolution event where they crossed them all over.
Now, did you get that in the mail?
No, I bought it at Fan Expo many years ago. Fan
Hey,
Expo,
Anthony.
eh?
Anthony,
That's coming
Yeah?
up for me.
Anthony, how do you like that Loyal Subjects figure? I just realized that's what my Bebop and Rocksteady are, that I can take the heads off and have them have their human faces and their human hands. They're made by that same company.
Well, are they any
I
good?
got their praying in the bubble. Met 2.
If I hope they're good. I don't know. I've never owned any loyal subject stuff.
Oh, you're so. Oh, that you were just saying that that figure you were showing wasn't one of theirs. That's just.
No, that was a Hasbro GI Joe that was retooled into both Matt Tracker, and then they did one of Rom the Space Knight.
So wait, what was it that you were talking about with the loyal subjects? What's stuff?
They've got the rights now from Hasbro to Gem, Mask, and Rom.
Okay,
We don't know what they're doing with it yet. They just announced that they have them, so presumably they're going to do something.
They're okay. They're kind of hit and miss. I like the Krang bubble mech is fine, but that's harder to screw up. The Bebop and Rocksteady, they're okay, but I think they're still growing. I mean, they're supposed to be better than they were like a few years ago when they started out, but they still seem to be having some growing pains with like ugly joints and stuff like that. I'll have to see. I think I know where I have them at if I manage to pull them
Are you
out.
talking about the new Are you talking about the new turtle figures that just got released?
I got a picture of the Bebop that I have. Okay, this is the Bebop I have by them from their Best Action line.
Oh yeah,
And I have the equivalent. And I have the equivalent Bebop. Here's a better picture of it. Well, it's not the same one, but it's just a redeco. But
yeah, I see these in Toys R Us all the time, like this whole line. I didn't realize it was by the same company, Loyal Subjects.
Yep.
Yeah, because apparently some people are giving some negative reviews, but then a whole other crew of people are saying they're like best figures like that has come out in a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
So
they're not bad. I think they're just inconsistent.
Yeah. So that gem there, that's why I'm like, I hope they reissue the original ROM, because they did like an old-fashioned gem doll. I don't know if that's literally a reissue, because I'm not super familiar with Gem and the holograms. That looks like an old one. So yeah, I would love to see them do something like that with ROM, specifically.
Yeah, those are just toy. What would you say again? Those are just toys.
Baby dolls for boys.
Yeah, baby dolls for boys. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Rom the Space Knight was cool. Watch that old commercial on YouTube where you have like a Vincent Price sound-alike talking about Rom and all the stuff that he could do.
I got to get through Star Blazers first.
It's just one commercial. That's all that they. That's all the.
You're just saying watch the commercial for it. How can I watch the commercial for it and or was there no TV series?
No. Rob the Space Knight had a Marvel Comics series, and it ran for a very long time, long after they'd stopped making the toy, because people just really liked it. And it was actually like properly tied in with like the regular Marvel universe, so like it crossed over all the time. And I like Rom because IDW did a series a few years ago that was very evocative of the old Marvel one.
No, I got hooked on Mike the Knight.
Mm.
So, in reference of the gem, it's the same type, but so yeah, in the group they're saying it's not the original. It's the same type, but updated to be animation accurate.
Oh, okay. So like what the Transformers retro figures are doing, where they reissue them but in animation colors.
Yeah, and then Cody says the thing with Takara, their MP figures have paint chipping, a range of QC problems, and other things. That's why I have to go with why I have to get an MP figure. It will be a KO. Yeah, if I have to get an MP figure, it will be a KO, just like IT-01 Emperor of Destruction.
That's why I got out of doing Masterpiece stuff back in the day, for the same reason. Well, that and the prices were rising on it.
AliExpress. That's where you get all your KOs.
Yeah. Also, they just didn't seem very fun at that point, because they were getting increasingly complicated, and like this Optimus that I kept showing off, I transformed him on camera in a minute. That's more my speed.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat too. I don't like 500 steps just to transform an arm.
Something I've been thinking of. Impactor asked me this a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks back, when he was talking about whether you like complicated or simple transformations. I just prefer them when they're intuitive. It can be a lot of steps, but if I don't even have to think about it, if it's like smooth enough that I can just figure it out as I go, then it can be really complicated and I still think it's fun. And a lot of the more complicated masterpieces just kind of stopped feeling like that to me.
Well, when you gotta watch a video,
Yeah.
a how-to video transform.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I really enjoy
you know.
those just transform it videos that what's his face does that. God, that really good YouTuber that does those.
Emgo.
Emgo, yeah, yeah. But I like those, but I shouldn't have to turn to those to figure my guy out.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to do that with movie the fall. No, was it no? Dark Side of the Moon shot. Holy crow, man!
You're losing it tonight.
Am I?
Well, as we mentioned in Factor Production, quickly show us Cliff Jumping RC Shockwave stop motion before we wind up for the evening.
Yeah, the thing that I think is the most fun about this is the fact that all these goons are being played by like actual important characters. Like Tarn is there. There he is.
Hey, you can't do that.
So it's not super obvious because we're not hearing the audio, but this is a scene from the Transformers Prime episode where they flash back to when RC and Cliffjumper first met, and we first meet Shockwave. Yeah, I never remember episode titles because he said what it was called, and then I was like, "What episode is that?" And then he told me the plot, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that one."
Past, out of the past, or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. I like the part where the boxes fall on the guy.
But yep, it is 9:20, so I'm going to roll on out of here.
Sir.
Peace
Take care,
out.
Mr. Magnus. Peace out,
I
buddy.
will see you all next week.
Later
Next
on,
week.
Magnus.
Oh, hey, Toy Warp, were you needing some of those LR44s?
No, I
'Cause
just had a local advertisement come up with a whole bunch of hearing aid batteries. Like they had packs and packs and packs of them. And I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the LR44 because if it was, I was going to go buy them for like $15 for all of them.
Oh, okay. I had to buy a 15-pack. So I've got plenty if anybody needs them. If anybody gets a Agent Knight Transformer, I got the batteries for you.
I might take you up on that because I'm seriously thinking about getting that.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
I thought you said you didn't buy modern stuff.
I mean, you might have to make an exception for a talking kit. You know,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
cheaper
cool.
than the original Kenner. Like original Kenner kit in the box, you're looking to spend $500-600.
Oh, so that's a good question there from Cody
Wow.
because I'm like, oh yeah, by
Peace
the way,
out.
peace
I'm
out.
Later on, Magnus.
That's a good question from Cody because I have owned things that I have sold because they were too complicated. I think the most complicated thing that I did own at one point was Fans Toys Hoodlum, which was the third-party hot rod. I got that thing transformed into car mode exactly once, and it took like the triple hit of like squinting at photos, looking at the instructions, and checking YouTube to get it figured out. I have the Studio Series one now that is a way better figure in pretty much every way except size. But what do I own that's the most complex thing?
No, I already said mine. Mine's the Dark Side of the Moon Shockwave.
Remember when I was a kid, I couldn't figure out Motor Master.
Yeah, Motor Master is I mean, I figured it out, but I could see why, because it's his transformation is a bit odd when you really look at it.
Well, sure. The truck, I guess you could say, is his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking like it's Optimus Prime here, like you're trying to transform it, right? And you're like, wait a minute, that's the feet.
Which is funny. Motor Master makes an appearance in a Christmas movie. There's some Christmas movie that came out in like the late '80s, and it had Bo and Luke Duke in it. but they weren't Bo and Luke Duke. They were playing two different characters, but they're still in it together. Like, tell me that's not typecast. But they have to drive this semi truck full of toys to some remote town in Alaska or something, and they barely make it. But when they get there and they hand the first little boy a toy, it's Motormaster, and he transforms it there in front of the camera.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good like bit of advertising they did there.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Victorion's my most complicated one that I have because it's 5 modern robots that are all fairly complicated, and then you got to combine them into the big form. These combiner war toys can be complicated. It's still fun, but in terms of have to do the most things, it's probably this one. That's just me guessing, looking around. And I'm sure that that's nothing compared to some of the things that other people have that are their most complicated things.
Oh gosh.
One's pretty damn simple.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I got that loyal subjects my Bebop and Rocksteady. I could point out what I was talking about, like some of the examples of what people like about them, what people don't like about them.
Is it hard to transform?
I'm talking about Bebop and Rocksteady. There's loyal.
I knew you were talking about Bebop and Rocksteady. That's why I said that.
I mean, people tend to agree that they look nice, like they have nice deco, but you get some of their joints. Like, look at this. Now, this is the knee straight on. This is the straight leg, but look at this side knee. That thing's fugly as hell.
So got a whole chunk sticking out there.
Like that elbows, kind of like a show. Now, the Bebop's knee, but he has a thinner leg, so I think that's why his leg doesn't look as bad. Because he has that thinner. His leg isn't as thick as Rocksteady's. And I think like some of there's a waist, but it doesn't really. I mean, it's like it's not really doing anything. I mean, the below the pecs, above the 6-pack joint, that does work. So sometimes some of the joints don't move as well as you would think. Like, that's about as far as the arm will go.
That is weird. His hip
like
movement.
how far out the arm will go. So sometimes the joints, even though they technically supposedly have the joint, it won't move as far as you would think it would be. That seems to be the main thing. Is just some of the joints are ugly, and the posability, it will have the posability on paper, but when it comes to actually doing it in hand, it doesn't. It underperforms. But I mean, they'll have like nicely done accessories. Like that's shit. That's Bebop's. I mean, Rocksteady's gun.
No, you gotta say pew pew.
Pew 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 pew.
There you go.
Stab stab or whatever Emgo says. That's the Rocksteady head, human head.
Oh wow.
Rocksteady's Bebop's head.
Those glasses are a choice.
Because I wasn't getting those ugly fat mutant Mehan rounds, and then this is supposed to be. I got Bebop's and Rocksteady's heads pulled off, but this is supposed to be them combined.
It's a combiner.
Yeah, but I got He-Man and Skeletor's head on Bebop's head. Where is I got Bebop? I have Bebop's head on He-Man right now.
A whole multiverse going on here.
As you say, that's a little taboo going on between Skeletor and He-Man.
Yeah, that would be imagine being the awkward couple, the awkward word best friends trope, and being stuck like that.
I mean, that does sound like a plot of a Filmation He-Man episode.
It does.
I agree.
Well, we're going to have to learn to work together for now.
And coincidentally, the episode of
remember
the episode of the 20X He-Man I watched most recently was the one when the two He-Man villains that get to combine. Is the episode that at the end they get combined at the end because they fail getting He-Man because they keep on fighting. And Skeletor's like, you two are gonna have to work together from now on, and combine them together. And like, no.
I mean, Transformers did the same thing in the comics with Ratchet and Megatron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
They made
saw
it
some
horrifying.
guy on Facebook. He made a nice custom of the what is it? The Blokies.
Oh yeah, I could see them doing that with those. Those are really easy to customize.
Yep.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to round up for the evening. But before we do,
Already?
yes, it's already 10:30.
Holy
Yeah.
man.
We've been at an hour and 18 minutes. So what has everyone got coming up for the near future? I throw it to you, Mr. Rolati.
Are you starting with me? Oh man. That's a good question. I'm actually on holidays right now, so I'm just gonna be a lazy bum. And then I am planning on working on an article, so stay tuned for that. I think it's probably gonna be my last article for the year. It's about chirping. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Go ahead, Fear.
I only know about it because of Shorzy and Letterkenny.
Yeah.
It's hockey players trying to antagonize other hockey players with creative insults.
Correct. But there's also another way of chirping as well too amongst your teammates, right? And as a coach, how do you stop that on the bench when you have your players chirping at each other? So probably going to be looking at an article, something like that, to write about and give my own opinion and my own experience and some advice how to stop that kind of chirping.
Have you ever watched Shorzy?
Stay tuned.
Children's hockey.
Do I coach? I used to. I took a break.
So you would have direct experience, so that would be insightful to read.
Well,
Yeah.
Where can they find those articles?
Oh yes, you can. For this article, hopefully, that I do before the year end, you can find it on hockeyneeds.com.
There you go.
That's a nice close up there you just did on me.
There you go.
That was very professional. I feel like I was a real estate agent there. You know, when you see on the bus, on the bus terminals there, bus stops.
Over to you, Toy War Vintage Reviews. What do you have coming up for the near future?
Nothing on Toy Warp. However, on Toy Warp, I think I mentioned it last week, the Christmas Cannonball train that's got a story history with my family that I tell in the video. So that one's out over on Toy Warp. Over on Cruises Motorsports, just released the video. It's a shorter video, but just released a video of the one of the largest car meets in Florida. If you ever want to see cars dressed up like Christmas trees, well, that's a good place to see it. It looks pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Crazy custom cars and every like walk of life you can think of, lowriders and stance cars and hot rods and JDM cars. I mean, everything was there. So that video's over on Cruises Motorsports now. And don't forget about the Cruises Motorsports t-shirts and stickers. They're still for sale through the first of the year.
Nice.
Are they like tax free for the next 2 months, like in Canada?
I can't get around eBay's tax. No.
All right. Well.
Son of Bach Arts, what say you for the upcoming week?
So on Boobs and Bots, I need to post these figures of Mix and Match Wave 2, my second set of builds with them. And then on Setom Bach Arts, where's the other picture I'm looking for? Just had it. Some of the like gotcha toys with baked goods I've been doing. I think I got 3 I need to post. So there's one. No.
Did you say baked goods?
Yeah, I have a friend who a mom and a daughter that run a bakery, and I just, for whatever reason, like I just started taking some toys that I don't really fit in with all the Transformer and that type of stuff and He-Man stuff and TMNT. I just take pictures of baked goods. It's just something I started randomly doing. And there's a last one is just those same tree I just showed, but all together with a cupcake with tree cranberries on top.
Hey, you should promote the name of their store.
But yeah, I do. And then like a lot of those gotcha toys I get from there's a local like Japanese market, and they have a gotcha station off their main store. Then they have it in the local mall I go to, and so I normally tag both of them.
Cool.
Based
Over
on,
to
who the stuff's from.
And over to Fear or Courage. What is coming up for the week?
Well, I've been pretty good at keeping my streak of putting out one review a week again up. And if you go to Children of Primus and go to
So
the news
jealous.
yeah, I'm impressed. I
I
didn't
am,
think I
I'm
was going to be
jealous.
able to do it. If you go to childrenofprimus.com and look under news and reviews, go to blogbots. My latest review is of Generations Comic Edition Straxus here in his flying cannon mode right now.
That's a nice figure.
Yeah, it is. I said as much in the review, and I talked about why and how smart it was for them to retool Galvatron into him because of how this is what he changed into in the comic, like a full year before Galvatron was even out. Yeah. And as for next time, well, like I said, I just spent 2 days taking lots of photos of this Legacy Deluxe Optimus because I really enjoy him. So all I got to do is type up his review. So expect that this Friday, unless life gets busy. But I've been doing a good job with it so far. So
Outstanding.
yeah. And I guess I gotta do my best of the year thing soon, but I might save that until the new year because there's still a few really fun guys that I haven't talked about, like the Transformers 1 Optimus and Megatron. They're both really good figures, and I haven't done reviews of them yet, and I want to talk about how great they are.
I heard them
for Christmas.
You know what? I heard the Megatron one that you have in your hand. I heard that was built really solid.
Yeah, it is. That's why I liked it so much.
Impactor, as I mentioned, I just reached 131 subscribers now in just a few hours.
Oh, that's great.
Nice. Make sure you tell those subscribers to subscribe over to us. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cross promotion. But yeah,
Keep those A's up. Subscribe to us. Subscribe to us anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do these guys first. Maybe I'll do the year-end list first. It depends on what I feel like putting out there. But yeah, I'm always right. And go check that thing once a week, or like follow me on Blue Sky or Twitter or something. As Fear or Courage, I always post them there when they're to direct people over there, or join our Discord. The Children of Primus Discord, because I post them there when my new ones go up, and we got a little bot there posting our new stuff, and I'm pretty active in there. I'm gonna try posting one song in the music channel a day. Other people should do that too, so it's not just all my weird musical tastes invading it.
Yeah, I can put some music on there.
I can't, Anthony. We listen to the same stuff.
This is true. I'm like, a lot of it's gonna be like retro wave stuff. So,
hold on. I have to ask you a dumb question now.
Yeah.
If we post music on Discord, we're not gonna get in trouble, are we?
No. I'm just posting links to like the YouTube videos of the songs.
Okay. It's like the equivalent of like being on an online forum and saying, "Hey, what's some of your favorite songs?" That's the equivalent of what he's talking about.
Yeah, I called the music channel "Put Some Sounds On," so that's what it's called. But yeah, you discuss whatever you want over there. Just don't be a troll about it. I made a set of rules that were basically like, don't be a jerk. Just have fun.
I already got kicked out, didn't I?
Yes.
Oh, that was you?
You couldn't tell?
Yeah.
Jerk.
I think that's everything I got going on.
Send us out.
All right.
Well, I was trying to hold off for 3 more minutes, because then it'd be like 1:30, but sure. Fine.
Okay, what? You have...
Do you have 3 minutes worth of stuff to say?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Filibuster a 3 minute?
Yeah.
Well, I propose this bill here to allow us Canadians to buy, Transformers at the cost of Americans, so we don't have to do a tariff war on this.
I would love to be able to buy things off of Hasbro Pulse more often if we didn't have shipping and exchange. If y'all can fix that, I'll give you money.
I think Canada should be the 50. What is the 51st?
51st.
Yeah, 50 would be the 51st state. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, as an American, I refuse that because you have too many damn Frenchies up there.
And Also,
Louisiana?
entire,
What?
the entire Canadian landmass is larger than the U.S. like all together, even if it's mostly empty. So the logistics of scale there are really funny to me.
Which then we'd have Canadian alligators.
Mm.
No,
I
they
got
don't
some-
have that
Tough
four-letter
son of
word you
bitches.
call snow.
It's okay.
Okay, 58 seconds.
Let's go, guys. 58
Yeah.
seconds. Come on, man.
58
This is our
seconds.
marathon here.
Yeah. I got this guy off Hasbro Pulse because
drawings.
I was gonna say I got this guy off Hasbro Pulse because I wanted Astraxus, and that's the only place you could get them. So I was willing to pay the shipping and import there. And I specifically said in my written review, I'm like, so this has to prove that it was worth the effort to get it off the American Hasbro Pulse site.
But that's weird. I don't understand. Why would they only... Wait, hold on. That wasn't like a fundraiser or a startup Hasbro Pause kind of figure, was it?
20 seconds.
What do you mean by startup?
I don't know. Like, you know how you go out... Oh, whatever.
Oh, it was, no, it was not a Kickstarter. It was not a HasLab.
Thank you.
They just
HasLab, thank you.
a lot of these guys get carried by Canadian vendors like GameStop, Toys R Us, whatever. It's just the comic editions. Nobody picked them up, so you had to import them off Hasbro Pulse.
5, 4, 3, 2,